Do you think it's a good idea for someone who wants to get into PC gaming to hunt for a pre-built PC instead of trying to build one themselves, considering the current GPU shortage as a factor?
I'm pretty conflicted on this one. I would always advocate for building your own PC because it's a great skill to have. It literally changed my life building my first PC. I definitely wouldn't be sitting here today if I hadn't have done that. So that's way back in high school. It's a long time ago, Tim. We won't talk about how long ago, will we? But it was a long time ago. So yeah, life-changing experience for me building my first computer. It's also really helpful, especially if you are really passionate about PC gaming, want to do a lot of it. And yeah, because if something does go wrong with the computer, you built it, you can probably work out what that thing is rather than having no idea about how it all works and no idea where to start with diagnosing it. You have to send it off to a shop and wait for them. And pretty cool if you can just, you've worked out what it could be. Like, is it the power supply that's failing or the memory, or is it just something that needs updating? You can do that yourself. Might take a matter of hours or less, and you're back gaming rather than setting the computer off and waiting, 1 to 2 weeks for it to be solved. Who knows? So yeah, it's just a really good skill to acquire. And I think these days it's surprising. I don't know if alarming's the word, but surprising how many younger people really have no idea how to put a computer together or use it. I'm just talking about the people I know, so it could vary depending on where you are and who you know. But I guess when I was growing up and starting to learn for the first time, it was a skill that I kind of thought everyone would acquire and have. It'd be just like a basic survival type skill, like knowing how to use and fix a computer. But it's gone the other way where it's become so mainstream now. It's become so simplified that, yeah, people don't really know what works under the hood. So, yeah, the thing with pre-builts, though, you can get good deals on them. They are all put together and should work. And, again, a local company like PC Case Gear do a great job of supporting their pre-built systems.
You get some really cool looking ones now too. Back in our day when we were buying PCs for the first
boxes.
time, it was like, your local Dell was just a beige box and it looked like garbage. Whereas now there's so many boutique options that do really nice looking
quality
versions.
PCs, generally using good hardware. It varies depending on who you go to, but generally good hardware, well put together, looks good. So
yeah, a lot of those pre-built makers like a PC Case and other retailers actually look at reviews for parts, like Hardware Unbox reviews, Gamers Nexus reviews, to decide which of the motherboards, cases, power supplies and things like that they order in bulk. So the products end up being quality.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that you have to build your own PC. You can buy a pre-built and then upgrade that and tinker with it and stuff. So you still can get all those skills and learn that way. I think for me, it's, like I said, it's a tough one because building my first computer is what got me here today and changed everything that I was planning on doing. So it's just a great experience. But again, you can get that with a pre-built still. It's just a sort of slower, maybe. It's like going in the shallow end and tiptoeing towards the deep end, because it can be. I think my very first computer I ever built, and mind you, computers were significantly more difficult to put together and get working back then. I think it took me like 2 days to get it sorted out working because we had some memory problems and stuff like that. But after 2 days, it was up and running, and it was great beyond that point. And yeah, just an awesome experience.
I think these days, obviously, the supply thing is a factor. You can't just go buy a graphics card at the moment, whereas a lot of pre-builts do have some supply of those things. What I'd be looking for is, are the pre-built makers really scalping you on the graphics card prices or not? Because if they're just selling you a system, you price it up, you figure out all the components that go into it, and you come to a number of what they're charging you for that graphics card. Let's say you're looking at a 5080 system. If they're charging you $1,400 US for a 5080, that's basically the price you can go buy one for right now. And so it's not really solving the supply issue if the pre-built is just offering the same experience as buying on the DIY market. But theoretically, a pre-built maker, especially some of the larger ones, should be able to get those cards at the actual normal MSRP, non-scalped, non-distributor price. Theoretically, of course, it's not the case in a lot of regions where they still have to go through the same channels. But theoretically, that is possible, especially from a major company, like I'm talking Dell, Lenovo, which I'm not necessarily advocating to buy from those brands, but they definitely should be getting 5080s for the MSRP because they often make their own cards. So that's something that I'd be considering. Obviously, if it turns out that buying a Dell with a 5080 is way cheaper than going to a store and buying a 5080, may make sense to do that. Of course, you have to also factor in sometimes Dell systems have weird components on the inside, not as upgradable. So you have to do your research and all that sort of thing. But that's what I'd be looking for. If you're buying a pre-built and they're just rolling you on the graphics card price anyway because of low supply, that's bad. Probably stick more to what we've been saying. Skill up. Make sure you're getting the pre-built knowledge. Make sure you're getting the build-it-your-own PC knowledge. Do it that way. But yeah, pre-builts, you can get a good deal in some of these supply constraint scenarios where they find ways to get you the components for a much more reasonable price. So that's what I'd be looking for.